The team at Asobo and Microsoft have announced some exciting news about the up-and-coming Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Let's take a deep dive and deconstruct it to see what all the hype is all about. Hey, what's going on, Flight Simmers? My name is Adam and welcome back to another Information Alpha video. So, on Tuesday the 19th of September, the team at Microsoft announced all over their social media news about the long-awaited Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. What we aim to do in this video is take a closer look at all the details, as there's quite a lot of information that came out over the weekend. But before we get into this video, I would like to take a moment of your time to ask you that if you do like the video and find it helpful, to hit the subscribe button and ding dong the little notification bell. Not only does that greatly support our channel, but it also helps you stay up to date with the latest Information Alpha content. So now we've got all that out of the way, let's firstly talk about how we can pre-order the brand new sim. This has been a big question for many people, especially for those wanting to pre-order on Steam, like myself. Well, unfortunately we have to wait until the 26th of September to be able to pre-order it on Steam. However, if you wish to purchase it via the Microsoft Store, then pre-orders have already begun as of the 19th of September. As for the prices, we have them starting at $69.99 with the standard edition. Then for the deluxe edition, the cost will be £99.99, and then for the premium deluxe version, it will be £129.99. And finally, for the highest digital version, we have the Aviators edition, which is £199.99. They also have physical copies such as the Collector's Edition, which can be purchased exclusively from the Aerosoft store. This is estimated to cost £200 plus shipping. With this version you can also get physical items such as a metal case, a flight bag, many other patches and key rings. And for those looking for a cheap hard copy, there will be a premium deluxe jumbo steelbook. However, the price for this edition and where it will be distributed has not yet been disclosed, and by the looks of it, there's only a limited amount available. Most of you, including myself, will be wondering what are the PC specs required to run this new sim. Well, the people at Microsoft have released a full specification list. Taking a closer look, it reveals that yes, we may need to upgrade our PCs, but it's not going to be too bad in terms of getting some performance out of the lower end or even slightly older equipment. However, if you are aiming for the silky smooth experience, you're probably going to want to spend a bit of money to upgrade your rig. The main thing you will need is an SSD with enough storage. They estimate the installation size of the game to be around about 50 gigabytes, which is half the size of the previous version. This has been achieved due to them moving more parts of the sim to the cloud. So with this knowledge of having a cloud-based sim, we are going to have to consider our internet speeds. As we can see from their recommendations in the minimum spec level, it shows we need a connection of at least 10 megabytes per second. The recommended spec shows we need 50 megabytes per second, and for the ideal spec, it's at 100 megabytes per second, which is quite a hefty number considering the average internet speeds is roughly 70 megabytes per second, and that's just in the UK. However, other countries like Cuba have the average speed of around 2 megabytes per second, which can be quite a significant issue for those in unfortunate situations like that. Moving away from the specs to the engine of the sim, a cool new feature added to the sim is the ability to use ray tracing out of the box. From what we've seen, the use of ray tracing has significantly improved shadows in the sim, such as hard and soft shadows from objects inside and out of the cockpit. I'm super excited to see what it makes this sim look like compared to the old version, as ray tracing is such a powerful tool. Swiftly moving on, we'll discuss the newly updated in-game marketplace that has had a major overhaul with added features allowing us to rent products if you want to try before you buy. They've also implemented the ability to gift items to other players. This is going to be a welcomed addition to our channel to add giveaways and to give back to the community. Stay tuned for future videos regarding this. Following the new marketplace update is a brand new updated user interface that features all the same features as the prior game, but with a fresh new lick of paint. Sticking with the in-game menus, in the previous sim we had to build a flight plan prior to loading the aircraft in the airport or a scenario. This is no longer the case, as they've implemented a new EFB and flight plan mode. This allows users to make flight plans while sat at the airport instead of in the main menu screen, due to it being directly implemented into the core sim. Another cool feature is the way the simulator is loaded once you've selected an airport and an aeroplane. If we cast our minds back to GTA 5, when switching characters, you will zoom out of the map and then zoom back into the map in the area of your next character. Well, it's kind of similar to that. Take a look on screen now, the preview of this in effect. I think it looks really cool and it's a nice upgrade from the standard loading screen. And as I previously mentioned, the loading times have been significantly decreased. Moving on, we also have an improved weather engine, which everyone has been begging for. So to start off, we'll talk about the pyro, or in other terms, fire. If there's a forest fire, the smoke will be distinguishable compared to the surrounding area and clouds. This may affect the flight performance as it can be more dense. We also have improved haze, which can be seen in the distance, which is more realistic. Previously, it looked like fog and haze were blended together, which is not right, as fog is moisture based and haze is everything else like dust, ash or even pollution. We also have new high altitude clouds, which is brilliant for us airline captains who venture into the flight levels and see the cirrus clouds. Staying around the clouds, we also have a new improved thunderstorms. So we should be seeing those towering cumulus, which describe the cumulus stage of a thunderstorm, and also see those anvil clouds in the dissipating stage. We have 4 seasons now, so time and weather should be more accurate to the time of year. The Aurora Borealis has also been modelled, which will look amazing at night time, and finally the moon has been modelled much more accurately, as previously it was too big for our perception. And that covers most of the new improved weather engine. We can see some remarkable improvements to the airport ground textures, such as wear and tear on the runway and taxiways, and oil spills around the ramp areas. Closer investigations show that not only do we get a better looking textures out of the box, but we also have groundbreaking new modelling for all the airport buildings. For instance, the default version of JFK in New York for the 2020 sim compared to the 2024 sim is night and day. We are super excited to see this. So a further look reveals that depending on what type of surface you land on, will leave marks or trails on the surface. For instance, if we're landing on a grassy field, we will leave tracks behind where the grass is flattened by the tyres. The same is said for snow, mud, and other loose surfaces. This is great because in the previous version, we could basically land anywhere with no implication. So when we land our aircraft now, we have to ensure the surface is suitable so that we won't get stuck or cause any damage to our aircraft. The same can also be said with float planes when landing on water. We have to take caution, especially with high wakes and waves that can cause a rough landing. So this means we have to look for smooth water to achieve nice landings. Carrying on with the modelling, Asobo and Microsoft have implemented a bunch of new aircraft models as standard. So there's no more need for purchasing loads of third-party aircraft models. There's also been improvements on AI aircraft and will come with many liveries as standard in the new simulator, increasing the realism, especially if you are offline and not using third-party add-ons like VATSIM. All of this is great because it will reduce on having to install third-party add-ons, especially for people who are on Xbox, and it's just a nice feature to have straight out the box. With these new model changes, we will no longer see that weird 767 A330 Frankenstein aircraft that we've all grown to tolerate in the previous simulator. Also, with the reduced amount of third-party add-ons, this will help lead to a significant fast loading time and also less crashing. Now, looking closer at the preview footage, there's a section where you can see rotor wash being generated from a helicopter. This has been a key feature as it's currently missing in the current simulator. According to Asobo and Microsoft, this is going to work in both offline mode and multiplayer. The same also applies to wake turbulence generated by large aircraft. You will have to wait a few minutes for wake turbulence to dissipate before departure, as it could be detrimental to your safety if you depart too early. However, I do think people will get up to all sorts of shenanigans on multiplayer sessions, and it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But nevertheless, I'm super excited to see this feature be implemented into the new simulator. And sticking to the same subject, we will talk about the physics engine. There have been major improvements overall onto the physics engine, including ground friction improvements. This is because in the previous version, there would be times where the aircraft would become unrealistically unstable when taking off or landing due to the incorrect amount of friction between the tyres and the surface. Previously, it would feel more like being on ice, especially when making tight turns at fast speeds. Moving on to the highly anticipated career mode. This is an all-new career mode that has a big focal point for the new simulator. The team at Microsoft states that there are 3 types of people who play Microsoft Flight Sim. You have the standard gamer, somebody who just wants to fly around to look at the scenery, and people like myself who are serious simmers who want the most realistic simulation. The way they have created the career mode seems to have benefited all 3 types of players who wish to use the simulator. There are loads of activities and tasks that you can do and start your career in the flight simulator by endeavouring on your pilot's license and working your way all the way up to the big commercial airliners and all the licenses and endorsements in between. This is available for both aeroplanes and helicopters. Missions such as banner towing and rescue missions and also landing challenges have been created, and also chartering in private jets. These are all things you can do to earn money. Whilst doing this, however, if you damage your aircraft along the way, you will be charged and have to pay for these extra fees, such as servicing your aircraft due to wear and tear items needing to be replaced along the way. Along with this, you also get to customise your own character, a bit like The Sims in a way. Another cool feature that has been heavily shown is the all-new first-person mode. Now, I'm not entirely sure if it's available in the standard part of the game or if it's catered towards the career mode and the missions. This is a pretty cool idea, as you get to walk around your aircraft to do your pre-flights. You're also able to walk around the local scenery, hop in and out of aircraft as you please. You get to do that in the character you just created. I'm really excited for this, as this is a new groundbreaking feature that has never been done before in any flight simulator. I can't wait to land somewhere with a bush plane and have a wander into a forest and look around. Now, there are some other cool missions that have been implemented that are a bit more relaxed, where you can land somewhere and walk around and take photos of wildlife. I think this is a pretty cool approach to some alternative missions to allow you to explore the world in better detail. Now, I have just mentioned about the wildlife, but let's go into more detail about this. Planet Zoo and Zoo Tycoon has been able to implement highly detailed animals into the game. They have been placed in their local habitats, and to mention a few models, we have zebras, pigs, cows, birds, tigers, and even elephants. This is all thanks to the collaboration with these 2 teams with Microsoft to be able to get their highly detailed models. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. There's still so much more to discover about this, but that is pretty much the entire set of news in one video. If you do wish to read more about this, the link to all the material is in the description below. I'm going to finish off with a question to you guys. What are you most interested about to see in this new sim? For me, I would have to say the aspect to walk around in first person mode and go wandering off on foot. I know it's a flight simulator and you're probably thinking that's a bit strange, but I like the idea of landing a bush plane somewhere and wandering off into the wilderness to take a look at the world in a closer detail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you are interested about. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, then be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and ding dong the little notification bell. This not only helps you stay up to date with the latest Information Alpha content, but it also helps support our channel. We also have a Discord down in the description below. You can join this to be a part of the Information Alpha Discord channels. We've just started a TikTok account as well, so if you want to view our TikToks, then the link to that will be in the description below. There's also a link to our Instagram as well. We are trying to stay more active on these social media platforms, as it's a nice and easy way to show you some cool things that we're working on. Anyway, my name has been Adam, and you've been watching Information Alpha. See ya!